At the age of 20, I dropped out of college to chase the entrepreneurship dream, and it went against everything that my mom wanted for me. But fast forward just a few years later, after failing more times than I can count, I was able to be fortunate enough to make my first $1 million. Now I live the life that I dreamed about when I was a kid, providing for my family and being a first-generation American. And if I had to start all over again from scratch with nothing but $0 in the bank account, I followed this same exact path. So make sure you watch to the end of the video to get a full step-by-step blueprint of exactly what I would do if I had to start all over again, but this time even faster. So let's get into it. Now, if I had $0 to start off with, I'd have to get a job. You got to be able to have some kind of cash flow coming in, otherwise you're limiting yourself. And once you have about $5,000 to $10,000, that's when I'm gonna have enough to actually experiment and explore different business models. So that's what I would do first. Now, the business model that I grew to $1 million wasn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It was actually selling products through Amazon. Now, most beginners waste so much time on the wrong models. They start drop shipping, they get into stores that are stuck with no sales, they have Facebook ads that they can't figure out, and they're trying to build a personal brand with no real direction. But Amazon was way more sensible. It was already a scalable and proven system designed for people who want to build income through systems that actually work. That's why I chose this vehicle. It's just made so much sense. And the best part is the systems are extremely beginner friendly. You don't need to have a warehouse. You don't need to have employees. You don't need to ship the products yourself or label them. You don't need to have a social media audience, and you don't have to do any marketing yourself. You don't have to create creatives. But the best part is you can scale very fast. I like to explain Amazon FBA as like real estate in the world's biggest mall. You don't need to build the mall itself. You just need to rent a shelf and place a better product on there and let the customers walk by and buy. But finding the right product and place there is everything. Today, that process is easier than ever. With so many available tools with AI, you can discover winning products faster than back when I was starting out. Now, here's what I like to look for when I'm looking for a winning product. I use tools like DataBoss, ChatGPT as well to find and discover different niches that I can potentially sell into. Now, importantly, you got to make sure you got to make money and make profit, right? And most people make the mistake that they go for products that nobody really actually wants, cares about, or has any demands. So one of the first criteria is making sure you use tools like DataBoss so you can see the numbers on Amazon and see that, hey, is this market doing at least $200,000 a month, $500,000 a month, $1 million a month even? Then the sale price is really, really important because Amazon has their fees. So you want to make sure that you're not selling a product that's too low in price. Otherwise, you're going to have no margin. Typically above a $25, $30 sale price is going to be ideal. You can even sell products $100, $200 if you really wanted to. Then we want to make sure that we have enough profit margin for that product. 40 to 50% profit margin is going to be enough room to play with ad spend on Amazon. Now, with the tools like ChatGPT and DataBoss 11, you can use that as your starting point to find products, and then you use the criteria I talked about with demand, the amount of sale price, and profit margins as well to start filtering out these markets and these sub niches as well. It's also important to remember you don't want to go for seasonal items, things that like in Valentine's Day, October, whatever. We want something that's going to be year round. Now, after choosing your product, what matters most is how you present it. Make your offer convert higher than everyone else's. Now, I don't just list products. I focus on giving people what they actually want. If you're simply just copying your competitors, you're offering a weaker version of something that already exists. There's no real value or reason for anyone to buy from you. But if you put yourself in the buyer's shoes and ask, what would actually make someone choose you over every other seller? Now, it's not going to be a generic title, a slightly cheaper price, or copying someone else's photos. It's a better experience. It's something that makes the customer feel like the product was made just for them. Something I like to do is creating the ideal customer archetype. This is from reading the reviews, scraping the 5-star, the 1-star, the 2-star reviews on Amazon, and figuring out what people like and dislike about the product, and ideally, what kind of person is buying this product as well. I'm not going to be targeting people with cats if I have a product that's for dogs. It doesn't make any sense there. Yes, they're both pet owners, but one of them has a specific need for cats and the other one is for dogs. So it's important to understand who are you selling this product to, because this is what's going to give you a better idea and better improvement ideas as well for the product that's going to fit that customer. So scrape 5 stars, 1-star reviews from your competitors, look for pain points from those negative reviews, upgrade ideas from the positive reviews. You build that customer avatar from the complaints and those desires, and you can even use this for writing your listing, your benefits, and also the angle of your images. Now, this first part of finding the right product is what breaks a lot of people, and a lot of them move on to the next business model. But if you can stay consistent, keep learning, and commit to the process, you'll be able to start seeing real results. Take, for example, Derek, who after working with me for just a few weeks was able to scale his business to $200,000 this year alone, showing that if you stay consistent, literally anyone can get started on this. Another example is Yap, who went from making $0 on his Amazon account to over $10,000 within 20 days. Now, of course, I'm not making any financial claims to you guys and saying that you can do this too, because I have no idea who the hell you are and your experience. What I can tell you is just from my own personal cases and the people that I work with, this is what's been working for us. So if you're interested in working with me directly and getting access to all of the systems I'm talking about, that's helped so many others succeed with Amazon FBA, click the link down below the description and apply. Now, this next part is what makes 6 figures a month possible, even with this business model. Being able to source from reliable manufacturers. With Amazon FBA, you don't just pick any manufacturer because they're not just going to be making your product. They're shipping your entire customer experience. So if you go with the cheapest supplier you can find, here's what's waiting for you. You're going to deal with so much BS with late shipments, poor product quality, high return rates, and even possibly account suspension. Now, here's how you can avoid this entire nightmare from what I've learned that actually took me to scale to 6 figures per month without any issues. What you actually want to look for when you're vetting for suppliers is you want to make sure that they have some track record, 2-3 years of experience beforehand. They're willing to be cooperative and negotiate a better price and also find better improvements for your product. They have trade trends on Alibaba as well. Stick to those suppliers with buyer protection and contact at least 12 different factories as well and test the speed of their response. You want to make sure that they're actually going to be working with you and they're not trying to just ignore you. And make sure you double check your margins when you get the quotes, because you want to make sure that everything included with the product price and shipping is going to be profitable still. Now, if I hadn't figured this part out, I'd probably be working a 9-to-5 job that I don't care about and I really hate, and I would have started back in college as well. Now, what you need to accept one thing up front is that you're gonna fail, okay? You're gonna make mistakes. And that's the difference between people who make $1 million and those who give up on their first setback. Most never make it past a product that flops. And when I failed my first product, I thought it was gonna be the end of the world. I was selling these ultrasonic animal repellers and I made some decent sales, but eventually the product died out because I kept getting bad reviews, high return rate, and just was not working. It wasn't making any more sales. And it really hurt a lot because I just committed basically all the money that I had back then, $5,000-$10,000 on this product, and it ended up dying out. And it was almost like a sour moment, a sweet sour moment, because I started making sales, but then it just died off because I didn't take the time to get quality manufacturers to give me a good product and also to be able to test that it actually works. But here's the kicker. I knew and I understood that there are other people being successful at this. I could see the data. I could see the data on Amazon. Look at all these products doing $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 a month. So somebody behind that product is making that money and they're doing something right. So clearly it's possible. Clearly it's working. And I just need to figure out the difference and bridge that gap between what I'm doing now and what worked for them. And that's what I am doing. I started committing to that. And I understood that I could fail as many times as I need. But if I constantly am working towards it and giving it the repetition, and if I don't stop, eventually if I keep doing the repetition, I have to be good at it at some point. Now, the truth is most people assume that they'll hit that first $1 million with that one product. So when the first product fails, they think it's just game over. But that couldn't be further from the truth, because once you start building momentum, the real skill is what's going to start happening. You expand into inventory, more product lines, but you can't just launch random products and just hope that they stick. You got to launch strategically with different variations of the product so you can take up more real estate of the product and take a higher percentage of the market. The way to really scale and launch more products is by taking more of your market, by adding more product variation, more sizes, colors, offers, or you can scale vertically with other products related to your niche as well. And that's exactly what I did with my first $1 million product. I didn't just stop with that one product. I instead created a variation with something targeting a completely different customer. One was for boys, the other one was for girls, and that's how it started, because now I'm taking more of the market, taking more customers, and that's how I expand and grow from there. I can take a bigger piece of the market when more customers have better options. And of course, as you get more sales, you're going to gather more reviews. When my product had 1,000 reviews on its listing, that's when it was really starting to crank up and see some really significant sales, because it already built the trust. It had the sales velocity. It started getting reviews over time, and it became a very trustworthy product. And that's when you take ownership over a market. And this is the right way to scale with those two different directions. It's exactly how I would start all over today with $0 and from scratch. But here's the truth. If you don't want to wait 6 to 12 months to scale manually, and you want to have a shortcut to the guesswork and seeing more real results sooner for your store, like Ahmed, who went from doing $9,000 his first month to $90,000 a month, or Kevin, who started with no experience but was able to hit $250,000 worth of products sold on his account. So click the first link in the description and apply to work with us directly. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.